After clients finish level one, the main thing that they say to me is, what's next? How do we continue? How do we keep on this journey of fully self actualization and really stepping into our power? So that is exactly why I designed level two. So if we think about the challenges that you may face today after level one, is that you could have gotten better at boundaries, better at recognizing what your parts are, recognizing when they're stopping you from setting boundaries, but part of you still feels a bit of shame, a bit of guilt in doing what you really want to do, whether that be in your career or in your relationships. And you still may feel the tension between what you want to do and what others want you to do. And that could take the form of self-sabotage. So whether that be in your career of wanting to do something really bold, maybe taking a break, maybe switching careers, and then you have another part of you that really wants to keep you safe, that really almost wants to keep you small, and you feel like you're almost in an internal battle. That could also be with your health. There could be a part of you that really wants to be healthy and exercise and do things that are really good for you, and then another part of you that's like just a total sloth monster that's like, no, let's stay on the couch. I don't want to do anything. All I want to do is watch Downton Abbey and, eat a bunch of chocolate. So level one is really about stability, and level two is about power. So in level one, you would have built confidence, you would have set boundaries, you would have gotten a lot of career clarity. But in level two, what we're really looking at is how do you break your sabotage cycles and lead from your true self. So level two is really about leadership, self-leadership, and stepping into that self-leadership. Because in level one, what we really looked at is how do we strengthen self-worth? How do we look at emotional safety? But in level two, we really want, okay, you've got that self-worth and now you want to be bold. You want to be bold in your truth telling. You want to be bold in your career. You want to be bold in your leadership. What we also looked at in level one was your values mapping, your IFS basics, your nonviolent communication, your career design. And in level two, it's really about self-sabotage with parts polarizations. How do we look at emotional regulation? And then also the technique of radical candor. So I use level two when I call this the power method. So there are three parts of the power method. One is power awareness, the second one is power communication, and the third is power career. So in power awareness, the first one, like I said, we're looking at parts polarization. So with one part of you wants to do something else, another part of you wants to do another thing, and how do you relieve the tension in the two so that you can actually lead from your self energy? In order to do that, you need a high level of emotional intelligence. So understanding what your triggers are, also understanding how to calm them. We even then do a deep dive on repressed anger, which is something that I see with so many men and women that's keeping them small and keeping their parts from not speaking out or their parts from totally erupting. So that then leads us into power communication. So in level one, we really went over the basics of nonviolent communication, which is just scratching the surface. Level two, we're looking at nonviolent communication through parts polarizations. How are your parts stopping you from communicating? But then we also look at techniques in terms of radical candor, which is how to really be more bold in your communication in your career to get to where you need to go so that you feel like you're actually leading from self rather than repressing self. Then the third is power career. So anyone that comes to me is, clearly like a high achiever. Career really makes a difference to them. So whether you are in a career that you want or you still want to make a transition, how do we get complete career integrity? A lot of that is using Martha Beck's The Way of Integrity that's then shifted to career. And then also how do we do career design? And we do that all through design thinking. Now, level two is not for everyone. So even if you've completed level one, you still might not be a fit for level two. So level two is a fit for you if you've started setting boundaries, but you still spiral with guilt or you still find it difficult. You've got a lot of awareness, but things aren't really fluent with you. You don't have these things at the tip of your tongue where you could just recall them at any time. You know your values, but then your calendar and your job and your relationships still don't seem to reflect them, and you really want to live a fully integrated, values-led life. And then you can understand your parts. You've got a lot of awareness, but you still don't have emotional mastery over them. And I will say that this sort of thing, it does take time. I wish this isn't really a sexy way to market, and this is the truth, is that we need to do repetition and we need to continue to do this work to reframe our subconscious. And if you want this stuff in your subconscious awareness, then keeping on doing it, keeping very active in this type of cohort is the way that you do that. And I think about, for me, for my sobriety journey, it's like I can redo the 12, I've redone the 12 steps. I've been sober for 8 years, but I've redone them maybe 7 or 8 times, because every time I do them, I go a level deeper. I start to understand who I am even more, but I start to understand my parts that are flaring. Where am I self-sabotaging so that I can create the life and career of my dreams? Now, it's a very similar way to level one work. So level two is a 15-week group coaching program. There are exercises every other week that you get on the things that we're doing. And if level one, the favorite thing that you loved, which was community, which is definitely the favorite thing that I love, then this is going to continue in level two. So you're going to have a community of other high performers who are values led, who are intentional, who are introspective, who want to build the best lives and careers that they can. And of course, you get lifetime access to everything like you did in level one. So if you're going to Europe for a few weeks, or if you're traveling to the US, don't worry, or you're traveling to Australia, don't worry, you'll still be able to access everything. And with level two as well, you're going to get free access to a new confidence reset mini course that I'm launching, which I'm very excited for. And of course, you'll have master guest instructors. Now, when I think of the awakenings that people have had in level two, and I think about something that a client said to me last week, which she said, she was having an issue with her daycare, and she was like, before I totally just would have people pleased, but actually now that I know these tools, I fight for what I want and I know how to communicate, but I know how to communicate very calmly under pressure. So I have such more emotional regulation and control of myself than I used to, and even than I did in level one. So what we're really doing is there's full awareness. Now I've seen also so many people get promoted, people get married, people switch jobs, and even take big absences of work which they wanted to do for a while. So again, it's stepping into that self-leadership and owning what you really want for your life and career. So the big question is, will you be the next transformation story? So is level two going to be the thing that really catapults you to your next level so we can keep on growing this journey together? I love this program. There are so many modules which I was so excited to teach that I just weren't for a fit for level one. And I really would love you to join this if this is a good fit for you. So let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you soon in level two.